Hello and welcome to Wellness Watch, a show that explores the nuances and the burden of illnesses and diseases on mankind and how we in India are dealing with it. Today, let's discuss a mineral that camouflages between our regular meals and quietly influences our body's rhythm. But when this essential nutrient runs low, the consequences can echo across generations. Iodine, a trace mineral we often overlook, plays a starring role in our well-being. It may sound minor, but its impact and deficiency alike can be massive. A simple pinch of salt can guard your body against fatigue, sluggishness, and development disorders. But at the same time, from goiter to cognitive decline, iodine deficiency disorders remind us how vital a simple mineral can be. Today in Wellness Watch, we discuss iodine deficiency disorders. I'm Preeti Kaur. Iodine, a trace mineral with a towering role. It fuels our metabolism, keeps our energy steady and supports brain growth, especially in the womb. As the world observes October 21st, the Global Iodine Deficiency Disorders Prevention Day, this special report by DD India's Harshita Oberoi looks at how this tiny element powers life and what happens when it is missing. What are iodine's amazing benefits and how can a simple pinch of salt make all the difference? Take a look at this report.
Iodine, a mineral that the body cannot make, yet cannot live without. It's the building block of thyroid hormones that regulates metabolism, energy and growth, and are a crucial one for brain development in babies and children. Iodine also protects against goiter and other thyroid-related illnesses. When iodine is lacking, the body system slows down. Fatigue, low energy, cold intolerance, dry skin, thinning hair, and confusion are common. One visible sign is goiter, swelling in the neck caused by an enlarged thyroid. Deficiency occurs due to low intake of iodine-rich foods, diets without iodized salts, and naturally iodine-poor soy. Vegans, those on dairy-free diets, and pregnant women who need extra iodine are most at risk. Long-term deficiency can lead to serious conditions. Goiter enlarges the thyroid. Hypothyroidism slows metabolism, causing fatigue and weight gain. In pregnancy, severe deficiency may cause cretinism, delayed physical and mental development in babies. Adults may face infertility or heart problems. Doctors detect deficiency through physical neck examinations, blood tests for T3, T4, and TSH levels, or thyroid ultrasound. Early diagnosis prevents long-term damage. Treatment includes iodine supplements or thyroid hormone replacement if hypothyroidism has developed. Pregnant women may be prescribed prenatal vitamins with iodine to protect the baby's growth. World Iodine Deficiency Day is observed every year on the 21st of October. It reminds us of the progress made in fighting iodine deficiency and the need for continued awareness. Consistent use of iodized salt and monitoring can ensure healthier populations, stronger children, and a brighter future. Prevention is simple. Use iodized salt in cooking, eat iodine-rich foods like seafood, dairy, and eggs, and go for regular health checkups, especially if you are at risk. Good sources of iodine include seaweed, cod, tuna, shrimp, milk, yogurt, cheese, eggs, and iodized salt. Just a few grains a day can protect thyroid health, energy, and the future of generations to come. A mineral so small yet so mighty, iodine keeps life in motion. Its absence brings illness, but its presence brings health, growth, and intelligence. And all it takes to protect millions is awareness and a pinch of iodized salt. Harshita Oberoi's report, Wellness Watch, DD India.
Iodine plays a crucial role in making up proteins and helps in the growth of nerves and bones in the body, and its deficiency can cause serious health conditions such as goiter, hypothyroidism, among others. Now, how is iodine deficiency treated? Now, according to the World Health Organization, nearly 200 crore people around the globe are affected by insufficient iodine intake. It causes significant health problems in 130 countries and affects 74 crore people. 1/3 of the world's population is exposed to the risk of iodine deficiency disorders. Today in Wellness Watch, we look for these answers. What are iodine deficiency disorders? Why is iodine important for us? What are the symptoms and consequences of these disorders? And are these disorders curable? Also ahead in the show, we discuss medical advancements in India. Treatment for iodine deficiency disorders in India includes long-term, nationwide use of iodized salt, supported by medical and educational interventions. Medical treatments involve iodine and thyroid hormone supplements for those with severe deficiency, while public health strategies focus on ensuring access to iodized salt, particularly for the vulnerable population. National Iodine Deficiency Disorders Control Program, an Indian government program launched to prevent, control and eliminate iodine deficiency disorders, and it is running through different parts of the country. Up on your screens, we'll have some hospitals and institutes in the country that specially cater to this. All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Delhi; Safdarjung Hospital, Delhi; Government Medical College, Thiruvananthapuram; Civil Hospital, Ahmedabad; and Postgraduate Institute of Medical Education and Research, Chandigarh. All right, to help us understand the importance of iodine and also what could lead to its deficiency, we're joined in by doctors. We're joined in by Dr. Naresh Gupta, former director and professor, Maulana Azad Medical College and chairperson, HHCN. He's joining us in studio. And virtually, Dr. Sunil Kumar Mishra, director, diabetes and endocrinology at Graphic Era Hospital, Dehradun, is joining us. Thank you both of you for joining us this afternoon on Wellness Watch. Dr. Naresh, I would begin with you. Help us understand what are iodine deficiency disorders. To begin with, what is iodine and why is it important for us?
See, that's a very important question. What is iodine and why is it important? Our body needs a lot of major things like proteins, carbohydrates, fats, and some regular things also, calcium, phosphorus. But there are some elements which are required in very, very small quantity, micrograms, like iodine is required in 100 microgram in a day, very small quantity. But it has a major impact. This is the nature's way of doing things, that those small things is like the small spoke missing and the whole machinery comes down. Iodine is something which is required by the brain for its development. Iodine is something which is required by the energy machinery of the body, which we call the thyroid. In fact, for some decades back, there used to be a saying that thyroid actually is the master organ in the body. Because when this iodine comes into the thyroid, it makes a hormone called thyroxine. And thyroxine is so important that thyroid does not just control it in its own region, it just sends it out to the rest of the body. And no part of the body can work without thyroid hormone. So if iodine is missing, thyroid is missing, everybody suffers. Brain is not developing, the baby suffers. And also it was seen when we were not so much aware of the iodine deficiency, that deficiency of iodine also affects the pregnant mothers. So the babies will go out, they will abort the babies, or the babies who develop will be deformed, their brain may not be formed, and their growth will be so stunted that even if they are born, they are so short, and they are short in not only height but in mentation also, that it becomes very painful to see them. And sadly, this is still persisting, even though in very minuscule number. From what we used to have as 100, now may not be even 1. But we don't want even 1 to be there, because iodine is something which is treatable.
All right, so that was about what is iodine and why it is important for us. I'll take that forward to Dr. Mishra. Dr. Mishra, in what quantity does our body need iodine? And does iodine dissolve, flush out or build up in our bodies?
Yeah. So iodine is required in a very small amount. Adults require approximately 150 microgram of iodine every day. In childhood, it is up to 120 microgram per day. In pregnancy, requirement can be up to 250 microgram, because in pregnancy there is high GFR, so kidney filters the iodine very rapidly. Iodine is not stored in our body. So it is utilized in everyday manner, and the iodine requirement is for formation of thyroid hormone. There are two types of the thyroid hormone: the T4 hormone, which we know is the thyroxine hormone, and the T3 hormone, which has three molecule of the iodine into it. So having 4 molecules, that's T4, and 3 molecules is the T3. And major hormone secreted from the gland is the T4 hormone, which circulate in the body and then gets converted into the active form, the T3, which acts into receptor. Thyroid hormone is required for virtually development of the every organ in the body, from the brain to the maturation of the any organ system in the body, and very, very critical during the earlier phase of the neuronal development. So therefore, whenever there is deficiency of the iodine in the mother, it will also affect the development of the fetus together. What has happened in India that probably we are not realizing the fact that how the one major step by the government, the universal salt iodization, has taken care to large extent of the Himalayan region, the sub-Himalayan region of the cretinism, the dwarfism, and the stunted growth to large extent. And I'm proud to say that I am associated to the institute from where I did my fellowship in endocrinology, my DM course in endocrinology, All India Institute of Medical Science. I would like to name here Professor Kochu Pillai, who is no more with us now, who is heading the department of the endocrinology that time. So Dr. Kochu Pillai took initiative to understand the cause of the Himalayan goiter. And his team of the All India Institute of Medical Science, and then who were those consultant and other researchers, went across the India and to understand the cause of the Himalayan goiter and cretinism. And what they could conclude that it is because of the iodine deficiency. On his recommendation and on the group's recommendation, government initiated universal salt iodization program in 1984, and from 86 it was implemented throughout the country. And what we see today is almost say vanishing of the cretinism and the dwarfism in country because of the wonderful initiative by the government.
Commendable efforts there.
Commendable.
Yes. All right, Dr. Gupta, does iodine deficiency, is it detected always in the fetus, or a person develops iodine deficiency in the later part of his life, or is there a particular age group that is prone to iodine deficiency? What are the early symptoms that one should look out for, and when is the time to see a doctor for this?
You see, this is very important also, and iodine, since it is required even before birth, so it can show up even before the baby is born. In fact, that is what used to go undetected, but we knew it. You know, Dr. Sunil was mentioning about Dr. Kochu Pillai. Before that time the director was Ramalinga Swami, and he had done these studies in Kangra in Himachal Pradesh. So he found out that not only this deficiency would affect the thyroid and lead to the over-functioning of the thyroid by virtue of it growing too big to make up for the missing thyroid hormone, and they become goitrous. But these goiters would also develop even in the unborn babies. But since the iodine is also important for the development of brain and the body and the development of the body, the brain and the body will not develop of the child who is yet to be born. So the child may be born stunted, the child may be aborted, and once they are born, then also they are actually low in their IQ. It used to be said their IQ would be probably low by 13 or 15 or something like that, which we have recovered now. And the mentation, the intelligence and the physical development along with the goiter were the things that will show up. And all these things that show in different manners. Like the goiter leads to less formation of thyroxine, which means the energy level of the body goes down. The child does not feel like doing anything. They just like to, not only the child, the adult also does not feel like doing anything. They want to lie down in the bed don't do anything. They can't even tolerate the cold, like the winter, they will not be able to tolerate. They don't want to eat much, and they tend to swell up, they develop obesity, and they develop all parts of the body, some kind or the other disorders. So it is, by the time it is recognized, as you said, it probably is too late. We may not be able to do so much. We can only just do some control strategies. The idea is, it is so common across the globe and in India, especially it started with the sub-Himalayan regions, that it is so important that we don't let it develop. And we want the situation where public will tend to forget what are the symptoms. Because if symptoms are being looked for, it is too late.
Right.
And it is without these symptoms, the prevention should be done on a mass scale, because the involvement is 1/3 of the global population. And we are happy to say that during the past half a century, the progress made has really brought down those symptoms. I rarely see these persons with cretinism, though I had one, I would say a couple of years back, such stunted girl, and this came from Delhi. These things do occur, but then that is the reason why we need these programs like Doordarshan is organizing for creating better awareness.
Yes.
So we can look for the symptoms in the pregnancy, we can look for the symptoms at the delivery, prior to the delivery, when the child is born, and when the child is growing, and it can come up at any age. And let me also put on record that in Delhi, there is a provision that all newborn children would be subjected to this test for thyroid hormone.
All right, Dr. Mishra, are these iodine deficiency disorders curable? And when we talk of the treatment, then what is the treatment that is done for these disorders?
So, good question again. So, we need to understand what is the spectrum of the iodine deficiency disorder. The spectrum of the iodine deficiency disorder range from hypothyroidism to the severe mental development and the goiter, and the speech impairment, hearing impairment in the children and the newborn. So now when you come across the newborn, so when the problem is happening quite early in the early development, because the thyroid gland start developing at 12 weeks of the pregnancy, and by 20 weeks, the thyroid gland of the fetus gets mature enough to produce the thyroid hormone. But thyroid gland will be able to produce the hormone only when there is sufficient amount of the iodine and coming from the maternal source. So the source is only maternal. So how can we prevent that thing from happening? It can be prevented. The mother is taking iodized salt. So there should be no fancy of having those other salt like rock salt or some kind of the fancy salt, pink salt, but to take the proper iodized salt, which government has mandated, because no one can sell those kind of the rock salt initially people used to buy. So that is one. Now, second aspect is that when the deficiency occurs a little later, people might develop hypothyroidism. So hypothyroidism is, as we know, the underactive gland. It cannot be cured, but can be controlled by replacing the amount of the hormone. What I mean by replacing means you are fulfilling that deficiency, and by fulfilling the deficiency, person is as normal as any other individual. Like I am wearing specs because I can see 6x6 by wearing the glass. The third thing is that some of those people can develop the goiter or the multinodular goiters. So it depends upon the goiter is giving any kind of symptom, whether it is causing any pressure effect on the food pipe, windpipe, or the voice nerves. Like so any difficulty in swallowing, breathing, or the voice change, then the gland need to be operated, and if any consequent deficiency of the hormone, it has to be fulfilled. The other thing which we need to understand is that the spectrum of the thyroid problem change worldwide. So most of the countries worldwide has adopted the iodine supplement, like China, like Sweden, Western countries. So they also recognize this problem, and they have also started the iodized program. So many of the countries, including India, the Kangra Valley, which Dr. Gupta was talking about, So Kangra Valley survey was done again by from our head of the department, Professor Tandon and group. So they went to Kangra Valley again and they looked into what is happening after post-iodization era. So now the kind of the disease after the iodization means this when you are fulfilling the iodine deficiency is the autoimmune thyroid dysfunctions are happening. So that is the another spectrum of the condition. But
so that
again,
was
that
about
can
the
be
treatment.
treated.
Sir, but do home remedies also help in treating these deficiencies? Or for that matter, do over-the-counter medication also help?
No, no. So it's when something is required every day. So how can we get it treated by the remedies for short term, right? So it's not a short term disease which is 24/7 into throughout the life. It is happening for a person. So I think it's an essential nutrient which Dr. Gupta also spoke about. So it has to be there in our food. It has to be there in our nutrition.
Always,
which, of course, one point I would like to hear.
Yes.
So why the problem has happened? The problem is that iodine occurs at the surface of the rock, right? And iodine is in the surface of the rock. And because of the repeated rain and the flood and all, so iodine has got bleached away. Iodine got washed away from the rocks, and so that the rocks are not containing much of the iodine. Therefore, there is increased excess occurrence of the iodine deficiency in the Himalayan and sub-Himalayan region is there. Yeah.
All right. Also, very quickly, tell us: do these disorders, these deficiency disorders, can they prove to be fatal also?
Especially in the fetus part, if the fetal goiter, the fetal iodine deficiency, severe iodine deficiency, cretinism, if it is at all there, and it has resulted into the malfunction of the neuronal malfunction, the cardiac malfunction because of the severe hypothyroidism. So it can be resulting into the intrauterine death and challenge of the survival of the newborn after the delivery. Yeah.
All right, Dr. Gupta, what are the medical advancements that have been made in this field?
You see, the medical information knowledge has already existed. So for half a century, we are trying to implement it. And you raised the question of whether over-the-counter medicines help. We have these patients who get harmed by over-the-counter medicine in cases of thyroid disorders. They say, oh, my sister or my mother had the same problem, thyroid, so I took it. Whereas the mother had hyperthyroid and this lady had hypothyroid from iodine deficiency. So it matters. So one is that the mechanisms by which you deliver the iodine is something that has to be thought of. And this has been very crystallized in India by the Salt Commissioner. That's an organization created under the Ministry of Commerce and Industries. And they have been helping us in creating different ways of iodinization. And that 15 parts per million that should be there in the salt, if it is there in the common salt, everybody is going to use it. So it was mandatory that we make it legal. That for any salt that is required for human consumption, it must be iodinated. But this was stopped for some time in between for some reasons and some objections from 2000 to 2005, and it again came back. Now what we are doing now is, you are asking about the advancement. Along with the iodine deficiency, we also have some other elements that are a national problem. You know this iron deficiency anemia? And I would say that along with iodine, we must have vitamin B12, which is not found in vegetarian diet. That should also be included. In fact, I was speaking to my colleague, by the way, Dr. Kochopile is here no more, but he has groomed many others. Dr. Chandrakant Sambhaji Pandav is now recognized as the iodine man of India. And he was awarded the Padma Shri last year. So I was speaking to him that we must put micronutrient of B12 deficiency also in there. But iron deficiency is more common. So what we were trying to do is, what government is trying to do is, you iodinate the salt and you also put iron in it. They have tried putting iron in the rice. They put it in different ways. So it's a different ways of delivery of these systems. And we have to tell them that this iodine salt, if it is there, is also liable to lose its capacity of giving you the iodine. If there is heat, if there is moisture, it will go away. So within so you must not use, 2-year-old salt I can use. No. Even the salt that
very
is kept in the
important point.
kitchen,
Yes.
the kitchen, you know, you have the gas stove.
Yes,
So you keep next to it, it could go down. But then remember, the iodine control program that we talked about, Iodine Deficiency Disease Control Program, has got 5 objectives. And these are being regularly done up. This is where the advancement comes in. One is you measure the iodine content in the salt.
Right.
And then you see how much is the consumption in the human beings. Then you find out whether this consumption has been meeting the requirements or not. So the last family health survey which was done found out that we have achieved up to 94% of the households
Right.
using it.
So when we talk of the advancement, and a lot of work has been done.
It is ongoing.
And it is ongoing. Still a long road ahead. But then for our viewers who've just joined in, today we're discussing iodine deficiency disorders. We're joined in by Dr. Naresh Gupta and Dr. Sunil Mishra, and both of them are enlightening us on why iodine is important for us, and also what and to what extent the deficiency can cause harm to us. We'll have a quick rapid fire question round, a kind of a myth buster round. I request my guests to give very short and crisp answers. Iodine supplements can cure thyroid disease. Dr. Gupta.
Not really. It has to be focused, given for a particular special reason.
A lump on the neck always means it's a serious thyroid disorder. Dr. Mishra.
Not always. It can be benign in 90 to 95% of the people, but in some it can be malignant.
Dr. Naresh, we get enough iodine from salt. Is it so?
Not all salts, and you know, we have different kind of salts. That is one of the challenges we face. But the salt that is approved by Government of India would have enough iodine in it, provided it has been preserved well and it is well within the consumption date.
Consumption date. Only a lack of iodine causes goiter. Dr. Mishra.
No, there are other causes of the goiter apart from the iodine, but the iodine deficiency is still the commonest cause of the goiter worldwide, including India.
All right. Sea salt is healthier and prevents iodine deficiency. Dr. Gupta.
I don't know whether it is healthier or not, because sea contains all the store of iodine in the globe. But certainly the salt that comes to us on the common table is from the sea or the rock. But both of them may be lacking in iodine, and iodine deficiency may not be covered.
All right. Crucial brain development caused by iodine deficiency can be reversed in the later part of the life. Dr. Mishra.
Unlikely, very, very unlikely, because the crucial part of the neuronal development is much, much early, and in first couple of weeks it is there, and if we're late, we can't.
All right. Thank you so much, both of you, for joining us on Wellness Watch this afternoon and helping us understand the importance of iodine for us. Thank you so much for that enlightening discussion. And after that wholesome discussion, we did understand that iodine deficiency disorders are not just medical issues. They are the reminders of just how tiny nutrients play giant roles. A simple choice today can build a stronger and sharper future tomorrow. A pinch of iodized salt may seem very small, but it holds the power to protect generations. Remember, prevention begins right in the kitchen. Stay aware, stay healthy, and let iodine do its silent magic. With that, we end this discussion here. Thank you so much for watching Wellness Watch. Bye-bye.